Ladies and gentlemen, making their way along Lime Street behind the two Merseyside police horses from the Mounted Division are 4 Cenotaph sentries from the Royal Navy, Royal Marines, the Army and the Royal Air Force. They'll be marching on to St Georges Plateau, where they will take up position on the 4 corners of the Cenotaph under the command of Staff Sergeant Neil Eames, the Cenotaph Sentries Commander. Ladies and gentlemen, the pipes and drums that you can hear now coming up to march along Lime Street are that of the Liverpool Scottish Regimental Association Band. The 2-minute silence, which offers a period of reflection within the service, will be marked at both the beginning and the end by the firing of the gun. This will be fired by 208 3rd West Lancashire Battery, the Liverpool Gunners. This year's theme is the Commonwealth, which includes the 40th anniversary year of the Falklands conflict. Commonwealth soldiers were, are, and always will be an important and valued part of the fabric of the British Armed Forces through 2 world wars and conflicts since. Commonwealth citizens have long made significant contributions to the defence of the United Kingdom, and they continue to play an important role in the United Kingdom's armed forces, serving in operations worldwide. Although the Army has been the main recipient of Commonwealth recruits, the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force also recruit from Commonwealth countries. The majority of those recruits come from countries in Africa and the Caribbean. Today we welcome ex-servicemen and women from our local Commonwealth Association who will be on parade. We will also feature the Falklands, who are also part of the Commonwealth. And of course, we remember Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, who was head of the Commonwealth for so many years. Each year the city unites here at St George's Hall in our annual service of remembrance to commemorate those who have served in conflicts around the world. We take time to remember those who have served, are serving today, and those who have given their lives in conflict. As well as uniting at the Hall, in a digital age, we're able to remember and share our experiences with those around the world, as well as those who cannot be with us in person today. The city has produced a digital roll of honour, an interactive web wall of memories, which is available on the Culture Liverpool website all year round. So while many names of the fallen are recorded in the Hall of Remembrance at Liverpool Town Hall, you can now share memories of loved ones, family and friends, as well as stories and photographs on the interactive digital wall. It forms a permanent digital archive for future generations to remember those whom we have lost and to keep stories and memories alive forever. Today's multi-faith service is also supported by the British Legion, who are proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with the city for our service of remembrance and dedication. The Legion asks us to join together and remember the service and sacrifice, friendship and collaboration of the men and women of Britain, the Commonwealth and Allied nations who have fought and are currently fighting in conflicts around the world. The immortal words, "Lest we forget," have been at the core of the Royal British Legion. The poppy and the work of the Legion are often associated with the First and Second World Wars and veterans, but the charity asks that people also wear the poppy in support of the Armed Forces community, both past and present, as a symbol of both remembrance and hope. The symbol of the poppy was inspired by the poem "In Flanders Fields." In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row that mark our place. And in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders field. Ladies and gentlemen, the pipes and drums of the Liverpool Scottish Regimental Association will now play Cricks of Tumbledown Mountain. The band of the Duke of Lancaster's regiment will now play Nimrod and David of the White Rock.
This is the time of year, as the evenings lengthen, nature retreats and we prepare for winter, that we turn our minds to remembering. In the Christian tradition, we remember all saints and all souls. Nationally, we remember the 5th of November. And today, we remember the service and sacrifice of all those in the armed forces, the emergency services and beyond, and all their families from Britain and the Commonwealth. There was a time not too long ago when there was some debate about whether or not Remembrance Sunday was still really necessary. Surely time had moved on and we no longer need to commemorate these events, remnants of a distant imperial past. It seems to me that such a suggestion fails to recognise the purpose of remembering as the opposite of dismembering, holding together in contrast to rending apart. And this year, there are 3 particular things to remember, to hold together. This year, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II died, an anchor of stability and continuity in a fractured world. She was symbolic as the unifying force across the Commonwealth of Nations. This year is the 40th anniversary of the Falklands War, which was not the easy win we were originally led to believe. This year, war in Europe, which we thought was a thing of the past, is again a reality. It is vital that we remember, that we hold these things together, so that people of all backgrounds, faiths and cultures can unite in the name of a common cause: peace in our world.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Come! General salute! Be said!
When you go home, tell them of us, and say, for your tomorrows, we gave out today.
Ladies and gentlemen, key civic representatives are now laying their wreaths at the Cenotaph, led by Her Majesty the King's representative from Merseyside, the Vice Lord Lieutenant of Merseyside, Mr. Robert Owen. And this first procession also includes the Right Worshipful the Lord Mayor of Liverpool, Councillor Roy Gladden, the Deputy Mayor of Liverpool, Councillor Jane Corbett, the High Sheriff of Merseyside, Mrs. Leslie Martin Wright, and the Recorder of Liverpool, His Honour Judge Andrew Mineri, at King's Council. Wreaths will then be laid by political representatives, including the Metro Mayor, Liverpool City and Region, Members of Parliament, leaders of political parties, Liverpool City Council, senior representatives of the emergency services, the Chair, Merseyside Magistrates, the President of Liverpool Consular Corps, which is one of the oldest consular groups in the world, representing 20 countries, Her Majesty's Prison Service, the Commonwealth Association, our schools, represented by St Edward's College, senior representatives of the Royal Navy, Royal Marines, the Army, Royal Air Force, and the Liverpool branch of the Merchant Navy Association, religious leaders, faith representatives, and the county president of the Royal British Legion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce former Royal Marine and Falklands veteran, Chris Carew, who will tell his story, Remembering the Falklands.
40 years ago today, I was on parade in Dundee with my troop of 32 Marines from 4-5 Commando, based in Arbroath. We led the march past on Remembrance Sunday, and I remember being so proud to be leading from the front as they represented 4-5 Commando, and we remembered the 13 Marines who never came back, 4 of whom I'd served very closely with in Northern Ireland the previous year. My troop was made up of 5 Marines from the Liverpool region, myself included, and one of them, Frank Melia, was one of my section's corporals. What an inspiration he was. He never tired, he never gave up. He always had a smile on his face, and he led by example. His section of 9 guys thought the world of him, and quite rightly so. The Falklands War was won by the junior leaders like Frank, who under fire thought on their feet, kept the momentum going and brought all their men safely through to Port Stanley. We landed on the 21st of May and cleared the old meat processing plant at Ajax Bay before climbing the hill and digging in. On the 28th of May we started out on our epic yomp across the East Falklands, carrying on average 120 pounds, say 60 kilos, and covering over 100 miles. The average age of my troop was 19. I was 21 at the time, and I had 1 Marine who was only 17 years and 7 months old, and the Navy fleet was carrying over 100 personnel under the age of 18. 4-5 Commando were given the task of taking one of the main features on the approaches to Port Stanley, called Two Sisters, on the night of the 11th, 12th of June. The climb to the summit of our objective was over 600 feet, at night, carrying over 40 kilos, and in driving rain, snow, and at times blizzard conditions, we fought against an enemy who were dug in and well prepared. We were shelled, mortared, shot at, and constantly under machine gun fire. My Marines were outstanding. Due to the huge boulders and slabs of rock that we had to clear to get to the top of the feature, they fought their own battles with the enemy, working in pairs or as a section of 9 as they pushed on up the hill. On one occasion, 8 men hit the dirt as a shell landed right in the middle of them, in the only bit of peat on the rocky outcrop. One had his shoulder dislocated, and the rest were temporarily deaf, with minor cuts, and 2 had perforated eardrums. But to a man, they got up and carried on. They were brilliant. By dawn, we'd taken our objective with only 1 man slightly injured. The rest of the commando were not so lucky. 4-5 Commando lost 4 men killed that night, and a 17 were wounded. Throughout the task force, we mourned our dead. 4-5 Commando was supported that night by HMS Glamorgan, and as they left their gun line, they were hit by an Exocet missile, which killed 14 sailors and injured 14 more. During my 7 years in the Royal Marines, my experience in the Falklands changed my outlook on life forever. I take every day as it comes. I cherish those around me, my family and my friends, but most of all, it is the bond that I have with those I went to war with. It is a bond that is closer than that of a blood brother. We have all shared an experience I wouldn't want anybody else to suffer, but it has made us into a close band of brothers. Like all wars past and present, it is the young servicemen and women who not only give their lives for us to enjoy the freedom we now enjoy, but who endure the hardships and terror that warfare inflicts. And we must not forget the thousands of civilians who also paid the ultimate price, especially those in the Liverpool area and the surrounding areas who were blitzed during World War II. And of course, those who serve in the Merchant Navy, who played a vital role at the times of the conflict, including the Falklands War. Lasting only 74 days, not a day goes by when I don't remember the 255 servicemen and 3 Falkland Islanders who died retaking the Falklands, of whom 86 were from the Royal Navy, 124 from the Army, 27 Royal Marines, 6 from the Merchant Navy, 4 from the Royal Fleet Auxiliary, and 8 Hong Kong sailors. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. And in remembrance, the band of the Duke of Lancaster's Regiment and the pipe and drums of the Royal Liverpool Scottish Regimental Association will play Sailing, which was played as the fleet left and returned from Portsmouth and Plymouth during the Falklands conflict.
This has been acknowledged over the years by awarding the local forces the highest honour the city can bestow, the freedom of the city.
these houses later. Do a bit of my work. Yeah, I gotta get some done today.
We're now coming.